Imagine like a planet just rocked by catastrophes constantly. Volcanoes, ice ages, asteroid impacts, the whole shebang. You'd think, right, that that would just wipe out life completely.
Yeah, you'd think it would be totally sterilized.
Yeah. But turns out, maybe not. Maybe the opposite. Ready to have your mind blown.
Always.
So today, we're deep diving into this wild idea, which is that mass extinction events, as horrible as they sound, they might hold the key to understanding how life could evolve on other planets.
It's a pretty wild thought, right?
It is. And we've got this great piece from space.com, and they lay out this theory. Like, what if, instead of searching for perfectly peaceful planets out there, we should be looking for the ones that have had, well, a bit more of a dramatic past?
Right, a little more excitement in their history.
Exactly. Places where life had to be super resilient just to survive.
Yeah, gotta be tough to make it out there.
For real. And it all comes back to this idea of planetary homeostasis.
Catchy, right?
It is. Okay, but you know how our bodies regulate temperature, right? Keep everything in check?
Yeah, like a well-oiled machine, more or less.
Yeah. Well, think of that, but on a planetary scale. It's like
Yeah.
the Earth is just this giant self-regulating system, and life itself is a huge part of keeping everything balanced.
Right, it's not just a passenger, it's like an active participant.
Totally.
Yeah.
Although, it's not always a perfectly harmonious partnership, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not like some peaceful, collaboration all the time. Life can really throw things out of whack.
Like with those mass extinction events.
Exactly. It's like, thanks for coming to my extinction party.
And the article talks about this wild example, the Great Oxidation Event, right? Billions of years ago, we've got these cyanobacteria pumping out oxygen like crazy,
Oxygen revolution.
right? Good for us, not so much for everything else back then.
Nope. Most life at that time was anaerobic. Oxygen was toxic.
Can you imagine if our atmosphere just changed?
Total chaos. We'd
And
be toast.
that's exactly what happened. Massive extinction. But, and this is crazy, it paved the way for life like us to evolve.
Short-term pain, long-term gain.
Right, on a planetary scale. So we owe our existence to a mass extinction.
Pretty much. And it's not just that one time, it's like this pattern. Life disrupts, things die off, new things evolve, rinse and repeat.
So each extinction is like hitting the reset button.
Exactly. Evolution gets a reset. And that's what's got scientists thinking differently about alien life.
Okay, so we're not looking for perfectly balanced planets then.
Maybe not. Maybe the really interesting ones are the ones that have been through the ringer?
Okay, now you've got me really hooked. Tell me more.
Yeah, so think about it like this. On those super stable planets, the ones that are just, chill, life might just kind of putter along.
Right, just vibing.
Totally. And without any real pressure to adapt, it might not evolve much complexity.
So it's like no drama, no evolution.
Exactly. The article even mentions this period in Earth's history called, like, the boring billion.
The boring billion.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
that?
It was like a super long time ago, and things were pretty calm, geologically speaking. And guess what? Not a whole lot of major evolutionary change happened.
So a little bit of planetary drama is good.
At least when it comes to evolving life, it seems that way. It's those planets with a history of extinctions and recoveries. Those are the ones where life had to get creative. It had to, like, adapt, innovate, diversify, all that stuff that drives evolution.
So we're looking for the planets that have been through it.
Yeah, kind of. And that resilience, that ability to cope with change, that might be a key ingredient for life to become complex in the first place.
Interesting. So instead of searching for planets that are like perfectly balanced.
We should be looking for the ones that have tipped back and forth a bit.
Right. Ones where life has had to like claw its way back from the brink.
Exactly. We're talking about a total shift in perspective.
Huh.
We're not just looking for planets that are habitable right now. We're looking for planets with a history of habitability.
Even if that history is a little explosive.
Even if it's a wild ride.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. So let's say we find one of these stressed out planets and there's signs of life. What could that even look like?
Well, we can't know for sure, obviously, but we can definitely speculate. If this whole theory holds true, then life on those planets could be insanely diverse. Like, they've evolved to survive all sorts of crazy conditions.
Give me some examples.
Okay, well, imagine creatures that can, like, change their entire physiology to deal with a sudden shift in the atmosphere.
What for real?
Or organisms that can enter some kind of suspended animation for, like, thousands of years until conditions improve. We might even find life with senses that we don't even have.
That would be wild.
Right. They could be navigating their crazy worlds in ways that we can't even imagine.
It's like something out of Star Wars or something. So we're not just looking for life anymore. We're looking for the ultimate survivors.
The ones that stared down extinction and said, not today.
Okay, love it.
And the thing is, the signs of those survivors, they might be really subtle. We might have to look for like weird chemical reactions, strange atmospheric compositions. We might even need to find fossils of past extinctions to get the full picture.
So wait, so instead of looking for those lush, green, Avatar-style planets,
We might need to look for the signs of past struggles, right? Like the echoes of resilience, but like on a planetary scale.
it's so cool.
It's definitely a different way of thinking about it.
For sure. And, this is why I love these deep dives. We started out talking about mass extinctions on Earth, and now we're like completely reframing how we think about alien life.
It really makes you think, right?
Totally. It's amazing what a little digging can uncover.
It really is. It just goes to show that sometimes, like, the most interesting discoveries come from looking at old problems in a totally new light.
For sure.
Yeah.
And who knows what other secrets are out there just waiting for us to find them. Wow, this has been really interesting. We started talking about mass extinctions and somehow ended up completely changing how we think about finding life on other planets.
It's wild, right?
It is. So, like, the biggest takeaway for me is maybe we shouldn't be afraid to look at the planets that aren't, perfectly pristine.
Yeah. Not the ones in those travel posters.
Right. The ones that have been through some rough stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe those are the places where life has really flourished.
Exactly. Those planets, the ones that have had life, lost life, had it come back, they're the ones with the most interesting stories. They could have life forms that are, like, way more adaptable, way stranger than anything we've ever imagined.
So instead of looking for a perfect planet for alien life,
Yeah.
maybe we should actually be looking for the ones that are a little more battle-tested.
The survivors.
Yeah.
The ones that have been through some serious stuff and come out stronger, more diverse, ready for anything.
I like that. And isn't that kind of hopeful in a way? That life finds a way, even when things get really tough, makes you think maybe those challenges are what help life reach its full potential. And maybe that's not just true out there in the universe, but here on Earth too. Something to think about, right?
Definitely gives you a new perspective.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, this has been an awesome deep dive. Thanks for exploring this with me.
Anytime. Always a mind-bending conversation.
Until next time, then.